The finals of Hackaging.ai Hackathon took place this weekend. And Hackathon is an event where people get together to build functional prototypes for different projects, in this case, longevity related. And that's where my team has competed as well. So I'd like to show you what kind of AI automation can be done nowadays on your lab, and a little bit of what's going on in the trenches of the anti-aging movement. The point of the hackathon was pretty simple. Aging is like a leaking roof, whereas cancer, dementia, and heart disease are your ruined ceiling, walls, and carpet. The problem? Hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, work on repainting, reflooring, but the roof cause gets almost no attention at all.
If you look at the top 10 causes of death in the United States, 9 of them have biological aging as their greatest risk factor. Yet, half of 1% of the research budget that's supposed to be focused on improving human health goes to study that.
The Alzheimer's group has 100 lobbyists, the cancer group has 100 lobbyists, the AIDS group has 100 lobbyists. The aging group has 2 lobbyists, one who's a lawyer and one who takes the calls, and that's not enough to do it.
So the big question is, how can we apply the emerging AI technologies to assist with the anti-aging work? And especially the heart of the issue, the lack of funding. And that's what I got assigned to. Automate fundraising for nonprofits, internal A/B testing, trying different methods and messaging with cost and efficacy tracker. Which is a good match. I have a nonprofit, check. And my other, also unpaid, daily work for the last few years is creating AI-based models and flows for improving health and longevity in general. Think Peter Attia in your pocket kind of style. But the bottom line, to turn this fundraising challenge into a working product, I figured we need the following. Someone with experience in fundraising, because it's much easier to develop the prompts when you have feedback from an expert. Full stack developer to create databases, A/B landing pages, connect to workflow engines like n8n. n8n allows you to combine hard logic from the usual programming languages with fuzzy logic from LLMs. And that combination is what we call a workflow. So in my example, we read project description from a document on Google Drive, and that's hard logic. And then AI does some brainstorming to propose different approaches, fuzzy logic. I'll show you more details a bit later. And such workflow, which I tasked myself to develop, has to be integrated into a website or an application for the general access from the outside. Then we would ideally need psychology experts, including adolescent and youth psychology, to go bottom up. If we are talking anti-aging specifically, there is a huge cultural component of death acceptance. It's like learned helplessness. So strategically, you have to start young to change the culture. Next, a person who have donated personally or through organization, which might include municipal, might be very useful to better understand the process. And a scriptwriter, storyteller, social influencer, etc. That would be me as well, but it's always useful to have multiple angles and opinions. So if you are going to have any advice, please let me know. Anyway, that's what I posted as a request for the project. The team got semi-randomly assigned based on registration profiles, and we've quickly realized that I have 12 hours difference with my 2 other teammates. Great. And we've tried to set up Zoom call a couple times, tried chatting in Discord, and it just wasn't working. Unfortunately, there are not so many people in the world working on aging.
There are only 10,000 people in the whole world who actually work on solving agent. Only 10,000 people. It's a reasonably sized conference.
And about 10%, 1,000 people got signed up for this hackathon event, but looks like only 10% of those who signed up actually had some time to do things. So I went to the main channel to rally more support to this cause. And all I could say there that I want to build something useful and meaningful. So maybe someone will join after that. And with that posted, I went to construct the actual workflow. And here's what it looks like beefed up. The first step is to read the master file from Google Drive, where you provide all the inputs. In my case, non-profit name is Living Smart. Our mission to build a bridge between public and longevity science, which should speed up anti-aging research on one hand and give everyone involved 10 to 20 years of life as a consolation prize if we fail. Current project, establish a longevity club in the high school in this zip code. n8n allows you to log into your Google Drive and read whatever is needed, and that's what I do here. The beauty of the system, it's very easy to drag variables around, so whatever came from file, you can just drag and drop into the next node. And that's exactly what happens here. Output from the file goes into the input of the reasoning node. Here and anywhere else where you work with LLMs, you have to be very careful about structuring your prompts. New reasoning models are somewhat better, but what you need to remember, you have to be very specific about context, which is what's going on, big picture. Role, who your AI agent is supposed to be, which affects his priorities and shifts focus. Action, what to do step by step, like you are talking to a very diligent but slightly inexperienced college student. Format, how the data should go out, how you shape it, and target audience, what kind of language should be used. Oh yeah, and if you're dealing with thinking models, it's useful to include a request for an internal self-check. That's the nature of the beast. If you want a more detailed primer on how to ask GPT, let's say medical questions, for example, let me know in the comments and I'll make a guide. So the prompt we've just looked at can be connected to any LLM, any model. Ideally, they should go to like an OpenAI deep research. I just don't have money for that. It's almost catch-22. So it's connected to the cheapest mini model for now. The output goes through the parsing element, which produces structured output. Who we are going to reach, how we can find them, what's for them, and two general ideas of how to push the emotional buttons. What's important here? Do not ask LLM to give you everything right away in one go, because the more you ask, the more garbage you get. It's not as critical here as in medical reasoning, but you get the idea. You have to be very focused. The next node is making sure that the structure we got can be used to create new tabs in our original master document. And that's what happens next. We write back to that file. So in this step, we populate our file with donation channel placeholders and come to the looping node, which means that everything after it will be repeated for every channel placeholder and will fill it with useful data, which is A/B messages constructed using the same context role action style of prompts and humanizing them ideally with Claude, who is, or why do I say who? I know. Who is much better with creative writing, at least today. And so the next workflow, which I haven't done yet, can grab these messages And n8n can automatically send emails or send DMs on Instagram or use webhooks and HTTP requests to go almost anywhere as long as your team knows how to set it up. And I actually got 2 new volunteers who joined after my railing attempt. Yay! So I have uploaded the full description and roadmap and workflow to GitHub. I'll leave the link below if you want to check it out. And as luck gets it, the new team members got something else on their plates last week, and we've arrived to the final day with just my prototype. Which is working, but not quite complete. But as I said, I'm not doing it to win any prizes, and the story is not over. I will continue to develop, and if you can lend your skills or advice or just donate, it's all going towards accelerating the anti-aging movement. After all, the path to living past 100 is pretty straightforward. You can troubleshoot it with me in this video. Living is smart, aging is bad. Check my logic there and tell me if I'm wrong or not. Cheers.